if I take, just a5 can't lose. So let's bring the rook. Okay, he's over pressuring this pawn on a5, so somehow that should be a little bit hard for me to attack on there. But if I take on double my pawns, and then I'm afraid from that pawn structure. Also a6 is unprotected from me. Let's bring the knight back. Also we are hitting with 3 pieces over there. And f4 and d4 or not? d4 isn't hang. Hello Faraz Nasser. How are you, bro? How's your day going? I saw you wrote me yesterday, but I forgot to open the chat. Sorry for that. Bishop back, I'm not sure I can trade or not. Because if we open that center, just his bishop will be active. He's trying to do that. C file is open. What if bring rook on c8 and try to do something from here? Yes, why not? From a8 I brought there to defend this a5 pawn from going forward, but anyway that doesn't happen. That's not easy, you know. 40 subs, very well. You will be more famous than me, you know. You are doing really hard job for your short videos. Let's bring rook d8 so he can't take and lose his queen. Also d6 can happen, but anyway he can't take. What if I take the pawn and then this pawn on d6? Oh, okay, I believe this defended. Yes. Really good news, yes? 200 sub. Let's bring queen back, probably from g2. We will try to do something. For example, sacrifice the bishop on d6 and his rook can't move. He blundered that and he get mate in 1. Really good, just we had even 8 seconds on the board and he misses mate in 1. Really good. If anyone wants to play, send me challenge. Okay, we are getting a little bit high-rated there. d5, let's play Scandinavian defense. Also I could take with a queen, but anyway, that's another variant for that. When I'm trying to bring my queen on the center, and the difference is that he can't kick with knight c3, okay, because that should be trade. And if it's not, I will take his central will be a little bit overprotected, you know, but anyway. I think I am protected that white squares very well, so I think take will be okay. I'm trying to keep his pawns double there. Castle and knight h5 or not, because from h7 will be made threat. Probably now that won't work, but I will try anyway to defend that very well, this king side. My pieces are doing good job on queen side. a5, I believe a5, and if he not to take, a4 can be a move. Let's get it back. Also a5 could work if that pawn wasn't defend, and it isn't doing now. Let's sacrifice the bishop, and how you know he can't take. His queen will be undefended from d3, and that will be a loose queen for him, and also is pressuring this c5, but even now he can't take. Let's use this pin and play a5. If he takes, we will take with a knight and we should be okay. I believe we have to trade. Yes, he can take the bishop, but let's don't forget his bishop is on attack too. And I believe we can't take, okay? Bishop d6, because bishop e7, that will close this rook file. And rook b8. Also b6 could be moved, but because my knight will be hang, and also if it's not be hang, just you know, these white squares will be very weak for me. I don't like that at the time, okay? Our pieces are doing great job on that center, so I don't need to push these pawns forward to open queenside. But we will see what will happen there. Still, I don't like to open that side of the board. Let's go back. Just knight h4 can be moved. That shouldn't be bad for me. Just when he's trying to kick, he's bringing his pieces active squares, okay? I believe he can't attack on that f6. So after some moves I will play h5 to kick the rook. Okay, h5 I believe can work. Just rook h4 or not. Because there isn't any square he can't jump, and h4 or g5. Only moves that can help him position like that. But what that move will give me? Ah, okay. Can I get out from this or not? The only good thing is that d5 is still protected from my pawn. My time also low, probably time pressure. Let's defend this pawn, probably push this pawn forward, try to trade. Because he will bring so much attack over there, I don't like that. This still I can try to drone if my time was a little bit good at this time, but anyway, because I have bishop and pawn against his rook, and for him that's not that easy to win game like this. g6 to overprotect h5, and probably king g5 to hit the rook or not. I am wondering bishop on that diagonal to attack on his pawn on a5, and f5 can be moved, but g5, okay? When even you are on time pressure, try to think one move ahead. Okay, I took that, his pawn structure is terrible, that's why I had chances there. And bishop there, also he can try to trade the rooks. Or even take 3, because king g6 he will check one more time and my rook will be hang at the time. I'm not sure. Let's do this. Only 1 point. 2 seconds. He will check and my time will run out. Okay, no problem. Some time pressure there, you know. You can offer some openings we will play, and if someone trick you with that opening and that's really interesting to you, say about it. I have much openings. I know much openings, so I will try to improve that. We went h3 to defend this g4, because if he pawns just go there, I have to bring my knight on g1, and that should be down a tempo for me, you know? That's why we have to defend. And I even sacrificed the pawn on that f4, because now his pawn isn't defending just d4. So I can go d4 easily and not to trade any piece. Probably bishop back, c4 and d5. Okay, I don't care if he takes that pawn, and that time he should care, because that should be pin. That's not be pin, but anyway, what can we play? Let's defend also a5. If we get some trade, this pawn will be lost for me, but f7 was also be hang for him. If I not take, he will take. A5 or not, because the knight is pinned, I can't move that. And b5 I will say is open, just I need to bring these bishops back, probably a3, or not back, you know. The other time I could even try to push these pawns forward, open this diagonal, because that will be really huge threat. I don't say that I will take his rook, he won't blunder probably mate in 1, but mate in 1 not miss the rook. But anyway, when your position is active, just you are doing half of the job. And okay, see, I tricked him. Just very bad move, bishop d5, okay? And he saw that. But if after this trade, his queen is under attack and also his knight was under attack. Let's defend f3 and also c3 would hang out at the time. If he takes, I will lose my queen. Because that 4 pin, I couldn't take with a pawn, okay? So now I get out from pin and king f2, just I have 2 more attackers, I will say, from f3. Just I'm not sure, I need to protect or attack. Rook h3. Just I haven't any attack that will make my position really fast over there. Probably I can force queen trade because that queen will be do a huge blunder. Not huge blunder. A huge attacking on my position. So I would be happy if he traded. Okay, see he blundered. Just any open attack. How can I make progress? I would like to open his position, but f-file is very well protected. And if it's not happened, just that should be even draw minimum. But what should I play if I check? I need to repeat that position or not? Just I'm not sure. Let's try to go d5, okay? Because after queen b7 check, just king d7, and the difference is that squares will be defended. I'm trying to use these white squares as his weakness. And attack on there. Okay, rook a2 can work. Also, queen c2 just lose a move for him. I have feelings like that. Probably I can sacrifice the bishop, because if he takes rook c1, no, that time as rook c1 won't work, I will lose that pawn, but anyway, let's try that. If he takes queen b7 and king d7 won't work, because the difference will be that this should be defended. I have only 17 seconds. Let's see, can I win this or not? I sucked the bishop. Oh, okay, what should I play? My queen is under attack and the rook. I'm not sure I'm gonna lose on time. Good, but anyway. Let's start a new game. I will play this time, I don't know, Italian Gambit maybe. Vienna Gambit. Offer me some openings, which is a trouble for you. I will play that opening. We have Vienna Gambit on the board, very tricky opening also, when you are playing against 1700 rated player. I used to be 2000 splits. That's a little bit easy to play against them, but I don't know why I'm somehow losing. I am forcing him to take, if not just go back. Okay, that's just a loose lose tempo for him. I would like to see that. From kingside, his main defender is the knight on f6, so I would like to trade that. And also f7 is very well protected. I can try to jump with my queen and make some trouble. What if I queen f3 or h5? I think h5 will be a little bit good, because if knight back I can sacrifice the knight on c7, and the difference will be that if he takes, f7 would be hang. I'm not sure he saw that, but anyway, he plays correct move. If back, he will force me to take. Or can I take the bishop? I think the knight is doing a great job. Let's take the knight. And because this opening I sacrificed a pawn, I'm down a pawn, but my position is really good. I have really good attack on his king side. So rook g3. Okay, now that can't happen. I'm trying to double my rooks there and probably sacrifice the rook, because he has to take with a pawn, and at the time the another rook will be this open g file. I will bring it for sure. And if not sacrifice, just bishop f6, not sacrifice the rook. The bishop, okay? If he takes, his bishop on f6 will be hang. If he not take, just probably I need to sacrifice from g7. And also that f file and g file will be very weak. Let's see if we gonna see that or not. Just because I sacrificed the rook, there isn't any square that I can't jump with my rook. f5 I can jump there, but from g5 that's defended. That's why I don't like to sacrifice the rook. Also in that some moves later that can help me. So bishop h6 will be a move. If he takes, I will take, and f7 will be really huge under attack. But bishop h6, a4, if I take, because if he not to take the bishop, his bishop will be hanging the queen. And here takes rook. I believe that won't work. Let's play a3, and now I can go back. Let's push it back, but he's playing some, I think, inaccurate moves. Because when I am trying to do something on his king side, he needs to defend that. Just if not, that's he needs to think about how to attack. But he's losing so much moves on queen side pawn moves, and also how pawn moves isn't that helping for some games. I'm not talking about end games. But anyway, I believe he's missed something, because his rook is hang, and then the bishop is also hang. Okay, he's trying to take my queen, but if I take before, he would have enough time to bring his bishop on e7 and attack on my queen, and the rook will be free after that. That's the right time to sacrifice or not? I think yes, because if he takes the rook, I will take with a queen, and this, I don't know, second time probably, his two pieces are hang. Բարև Արմեն ջան, ոնց ես ախպերս? I believe he did blunder, because queen g4, just his bishop is hang, but the difference is now he can't defend. I believe he can't just... Okay, he's forcing queen trade. Not that good. I think that should be the only move that defends his position. But anyway, I like my position, why not? Let's get this trade to undouble the pawns, but also his a4 pawn is a really good place, also very close to big queen. But anyway, I will try to defend my position for some seconds and finish this game, okay? Lave mach suppress shot. Send stream neo valley. Can I check? Let's do that pre-moves and see what will happen. I would try to push these pawns forward. I'm down a rook here, but I will try my best. Ah, okay, he's missing this. How could I lose just 0.2 seconds? The tricky move was he take this pawn on g2. Okay, very bad. Just you saw that. Okay, bro. Thank you for that. Su Narayan. And I have really good center. I didn't like that opening when we are playing against, when white is playing against me, because now I have really good pawn structure and also that's hitting on the center. So I can make some trouble for him for pushing my pawns forward. Արմեն ջան, ես բրցնեմ, այն ավելացում էլ չկա, ես համեմատած շուտ կբրցնեմ ու ուղարկի challenge խաղանք. Let's go c5, because I'm trying to go a4. At the time, d4 will be hang. Ah, okay, I hanged another. I thought that pawn was protected, right? No problem, let's bring the knight. Then probably I would like to play d4, but because this diagonal will be open for his bishop, I don't like that so much, you know. Just trade, and what should I play? I believe we need to bring this diagonal open, because if he attacks on my pieces like the knight and the rook, that should be open check somehow. The knight for even some sacrificing squares, you know. Okay, why this move? Why he played that? Okay, no problem. Really good for me. b2 is hang. And back, okay. I will take with a bishop c3 is under attack. Արմեն ջան, ես չեմ նենց շատ լավ ուշքերքից, բայց կփորձեմ մի քանի հատ բացատրեմ. c3 is under attack, and let's go c4. If he takes, his pawn structure will be very weak at the time. That should be advantage for me. And let's go a5. Just he can't push forward one more time. And if he just take, his bishop would be hang. Let's attack on the queen. That's not the all. I'm trying to bring my rook on d3. Okay, he's forcing me trade, or that's not a force. Okay, let's get this straight. And c3 is being a little bit hanging there. I would try to bring another rook and force him to lose that. Rook b1, I don't like that move because that's deactivating the rook. Bishop a1 also could be great move there. His bishop is doing great job. Let's play bishop h2 and see he will go back or not. I will trade there, okay? Okay, I'm happy to see this trade. Also, rook a1 won't work for him, because after this trade his bishop will be hang. And even this time that won't work. I think he's gonna lose this pawn on c3, because I attacked there 2 times. He's missing his bishop. Okay, very tricky. My time is low. Probably he was trying to tide me out. But don't try to do that. Okay, he's trying to make some trouble. I thought he would trade and I would have enough time to go back, but not a problem there. Let's go f6. Can he sacrifice the rook? He's doing that. Okay, very tricky. I thought he would make a new queen. What is he playing? Just if I take check and my pawn will be lost. So I will gonna lose on time. Challenge-ս ուղարկում Արմեն ջան, սպասում եմ։ Հլավոր չկա։ Let's play a4 and d4, okay? Knight c6, he's just, how can I say, letting me to have that pawn structure. Also probably c4, I can try to do that. Bishop d2, and take or not? Let's take, because if I take with a pawn, if he traded, I'm sure he will do that. This a4 will be open, he would try to push that pawn forward and make some trouble for me. I'm not sure what is he trying to do. He's bringing all his pieces on kingside to sacrifice the bishop. Okay, let's try to protect. We can even do that as pre-move. I will do that. I would like to take the knight and h5 will be undefended. But I'm not sure I need to do that or not. Because if I take and take h5, probably he's trying me to force to take even. And I would like to take because knight g4 will be problem for me. And go back, okay? Ախպերես, ես քեզ սպասեցի մի 20-30 վայրկյան ու ոնց որ չէիր ուղարկել էլի։ Չես քովի մեջ եղի, հա, ես էլ քեզ մանեկա չկթա։ F2 will be hang, but how can I protect? Or there is no threat yet. Can we kick the bishop or not? Just I'm not sure that will work, but anyway. Let's sacrifice the rook. I'm not sure that should be protective for me very nicely. Because I would have two pieces against his rook. I like this position as white. I'm not worse here. Rook d2 can be moved. I'm trying to get this g file, which will be very tricky. Also rook g8 and I don't know. Let's defend and make sure that he hasn't anything that he will try to do that, and that should be tricky, okay? Well, take that queenside pawns. I'm attacking on your king side. Rook d2, probably f2 will be under attack, and how can I defend? Okay, he's not even trying to attack. Let's bring the knight back. The difference that d2 is protected, he can't jump. Let's bring the bishop to also try to somehow defend. That's okay, which what he did. I defended with the knight, you saw. Or queen g3 can be could move at the time or not, because if I take with a bishop, not sure that should be pinned, but anyway, still we can't do that. I'm threatening mate. I believe there is no mate for him, because if I not do mate after some moves, Probably I will lose on time. That's why we need to be fast. Just he can't defend that f7 and b7 anyway. King g1 he would check from a3, or I can try to force him to do that. Because I'm up a bishop anyway. Okay, I tricked. Or not. Well, we have to do these pre-moves. Otherwise, you know. I believe we played very well. Just time pressure, you know, and even that pre-moves. So very nice. Arme Janku challenge nam z pasem. Aha, i kaw. Well, let's start new play. I believe we played that pre-moves good. If you like that, like this stream. Because we are going to that craziness one more time in our games. Because there is just no odd time in every move. 3 minutes and that's all. Well, let's get some pieces activation. Bishop a7, because if he takes the knight and I will respond with queen trade, d5 will be lost for me. I don't care if he takes, just my pawn structure will be good. And probably I can't use this pin, but anyway. So if I take, he will take with a queen. Or not. Let's take the knight and then the pawn, you know? Probably after this the bishop. Or I can even fork, there is so many threats. That's why knights are doing great job on that middle game. But if there takes, his rook will be lost. If he goes back, just if he takes the knight, the bishop, okay, and then if he try to trap me, my knight on a1, he will be a little bit good for me than me. Okay, bishop d3, and that can work, and now we need to trade these rooks, because rook e1, just I will lose the knight over there. I'm not sure he missed that or not, but anyway. I would try to bring my knight and pressure this f1. That time I could take and win this game, and that also would be very hard to defend. Okay, he can't defend. What if I just go forward? Let's do that, because just this pawn he can't defend. Rook d7, he needs to sacrifice. Okay, he's gonna sacrifice the knight or not. Because rook d7 and d1 won't work. Let's think about this. How much was time you get from your previous license of 7.5k viewers? Time? 2 hours 15 minutes or 14, just something like that. I can't make new one there. Okay, that's gone for me, but let's don't forget that I'm up exchange anyway. His bishop is pinned. How much watch time? My watch time, I believe that was 70 hours. But because that's short stream, that's not about for monetize hours, you know? Just there is no about 4,000 hours that I'm trying to gain. That was in a short feed like this stream. But I gained 15 hours for that long videos. And that's B plus in that 4,000 hours that I'm trying to get to monetize my channel. I think I will get 1,000 followers a little bit easy than that 4,000 watch time. That's why I'm trying to fill it, but I believe my viewers won't be so much if I do this stream as video. Because I did that, I gained so much so low viewers, sorry. After this we will take the rook and a2 will be hang. And this time I don't need to trade all the pawns. Because we have same pawns, but my pawns are just not that good on that king side. G4 won't work. Okay, f3 will hang. That's why you need to have some fast calculation positions like that. He's trying to bring the king and take the pawn. Okay, I will let him do that. Just I will take this pawn on g4, or even trade can happen. And I will sacrifice the knight for this pawn, no problem. I'm going to make new queen. Okay, mouse click. b5. b5 knight c4, and that's okay. If he tries to bring his king to defend that c4, so I couldn't jump. Okay, he could also try that, but anyway, let's sacrifice right away. He can't reach my pawn. Okay, rook. Okay, I did that Primus while you resigned. That should be really cool at that moment. Just 10 or 12 Primus on the board. I played not bad actually. Okay, no rematch. Let's play another game. I will wait for your challenges. c5 even here can work. Now GTA 6 pre-looking was started on 25 June is going to buy that. Really good. Just I don't play GTA, and I just not even preparing for play GTA 6. Just I don't know. I don't like that game. Հաջողարում են ջան, լավ խաղացիր ախպեր, մյուս անգամ էլ կխաղանք. I have really good advantage on that dark squares, and white squares is actually really good defended from my pawns. He can't make advantage from here. Hello bro, how are you? All my streams when I am seeing you, I'm remembering that how you said. I need to do my live stream in my short video, like on short video, okay? And I am very thankful about you when I'm remembering that, because if that wasn't just, I gained 7,000 viewer in my last stream. And if you weren't say that, just I will continue to gain so much viewers because that was like a video, you know? I appreciate that. Bishop c5. Okay, I will try to bring the rook and take on a5. e6 will be threat or not? Not, because his bishop isn't protected. Just f6 and his bishop will be lost, but also he can even sacrifice that to take another pawn or figures there. That's with a check, but I believe if he takes the knight and threaten this my rook and bishop, that should be really great for him, but he misses a full figure there. Queen a2 probably. I would like to trade, but how can I? King f7, he can check. I don't like to give him advantage. Knight f6 and trade, okay. Knight f6 right away even can happen. Just d5 is hang. Okay, knight f6 is even defended that, and I believe his bishop will be lost. My queen is attacking on there. How you could miss that? And he's still playing. Can I sack the bishop and queen a3? Bro, yesterday reached 17 rapid from 1683 to 1700 in one day. Very cool, bro. I'm just losing my rating from 1800 and you are gaining so much elo. Appreciate that. Very good job. Just 1700 isn't just a joke, you know? Appreciate that, bro. Let's take this. Okay? Because he's 6 pawn, just be sure that will be gone after some moves. Because somehow he can't defend. Even with a queen, and if we have just another defenders, the queen will be under attack after all that. That isn't under attack. That's opened, okay? Let's attack on a7. And he resigned because, how I said, he couldn't defend that pawn, and so in that position he even couldn't defend the knight on e7. Okay, sorry, 1 minute. Let's be sure everything okay and continue. Well, c6 and then d5. Let's get this trade. Even he can trade c pawn and play a5, okay? Just I'm saying in opposite side. Just a5 to defend my f6, and my knight at that time couldn't jump. So if I were white, probably I will play that. I'm gonna castle. Okay, b5 can work. Bro, can I reach 1000 in 2 days, but I need time to play chess. In 2 days, that's not easy because you need to 300 points and every win give you 8 points, so let's calculate. I mean, you just need to win 38 games to reach that. 38 games, and when you are playing rapid, I mean, the average game will be 10 minutes, because you can think about it hard and win that really fast. And you need to play how much hours? Probably 6 hours, and you need to win all that games I just calculate it when you win all the games, you know? But I think you need to play 9 hours. Or a little bit. Very much. Just 12 or I don't know, because you can even lose some games. 2000 rated players are doing great job. Just that isn't easy, you know? I believe we don't need some trade. Probably the bishop even I don't need to take. In the trading that's okay if you are almost 1500 on FIDE rating. You can get that 2000. Probably 19, I will say. Ah, okay, not bad. I believe you will get that rating. Let's attack on his bishop. That's doing really great job on that central squares. That's why we kicked it. Also, this is protected. Hi, my friend. How are you? Let's bring the rook on d8 and try to take d4. Okay, 6 is hang. I believe he will bring more pressure over it. And somehow we can't protect. Just I could even bring my king to not bring my rook back, but he will pressure that more, so I need to bring another pieces. Okay, the king and the knight also can protect. Well, I'm happy to listen that. Queen a2 just, I believe knight d8 will be only protectively move. But anyway, we don't need to take. Well, in my last stream I had 7,000 viewers. I had just how much? 200 messages. All chat were writing. Well, now my king is safe. Let's go back and get mate and play another. Just you see one move and that was losing. We have Scandinavian defense on the board and let's bring these pieces, okay? Then castle. I believe I don't care if he takes the knight. My pawns will be double, but I will push that and get some trade. Just if he not to take and he isn't doing bishop a7 or knight d7 to protect the knight and just don't get double pawns there. Also weak pawn structure. Okay, at the time he can't take. But when he goes back and because queen was defended, just you know, he can't take at the time and g5 will be hang. I would like to bring my knight on a5 or not. Now I can't because that should be open. When the knight moves, just d3 would be hang. And probably queen g5. I will take it and bishop c4 or even d3. Okay, sorry, my voice was gone. Please say your nickname in that chess.com. I will find you and I will remember your play, you know? I don't remember how I played with you, but if I see your username on chess.com, I will say. The knight wasn't hanging, but he's hanging this pawn. That was the difference. Let's play a rook d1 and from bishop h7. He will lose the rook and he's careful about that. Okay, the bishop was hang. I would like to trade just... My pawn structure will be a little bit weak and plus I will be down a pawn. The last one. Nalisar pass. That's a little bit hard for remember that. The last one. Can you say your elo? Because when I played yesterday, all my viewers' elo was so different. And that time I will remember that. Just I'm not trying to say anything that's not true, you know? $350. I think I remember that game. Okay, you just... I remember that that's fantasy to win you. I remember that. Just some calculation, you need to be a little bit careful about your moves, okay? I believe you missed the tactic and that's why you lost. Բարև ախպերս, լավ դու ոնց ես, ապրես շատ։ Well, I'm gonna lose on time. Not a problem if anyone wants send me challenge. Just I played so much +2 games, 3+2. That's why I'm a little bit slow today. We have Elephant Gambit. He played a 4c3, okay? And we respond with Sicilian defense, but this looks like French defense, you know, when he's pushed pawn and anyway. I would like to keep my bishop over there for defend the dark squares. And f6. f6 to open the rook and I would try to go g3, g6 to open this g file for me. Okay, he's not taking, just if I trade, his pawn will be in a really great position on a5, try to defend that one from the back with the rook or queen. Push that forward, kick some pieces and try to even make a queen there. I joined 3 years ago, but I never played until that month. That means that I will save very much players playing some years and they are still getting 400 or even 300 rating. I will say that's great job for you. When you prepare a little bit more, just play some rapid games and try to memorize the board on your mind. That maybe you can use that when you be a little bit higher rated. And you need to try to calculate for every position 3 or 4 moves. If you do that, I believe you will get 1000 rating. Before, and I will take with a pawn to not hang that. That wasn't be hang, but anyway. Height is my first time in your life. I am new chess, my rapid is 500. Great, you know. And I have been playing for about a month. I don't feel like I'm improving. What do what would you recommend? How I said just now, you need to play, I will say, a little bit much rapid games, and I believe that rapid games will help you improve your chess. You know why? Because you are thinking about that, you are trying to understand about chess, not just learning some openings and play. And I will recommend to learn endgames, because when you know endgames, you will understand the chess. Just because there is some tactic and there is no much difference, you know, about chess understanding and endgames. You need to improve that first, and then think about middle game. Because very much positions, the openings are the same, and if very much players trying to improve openings first because they are get some trick there, that's not that helpful. Because I will say that I don't know so much openings moves, but I am trying to find the good move in all that positions. That's why my chess understanding is a one level up, I will say. I think you understand me. And if you want, we can play even when you are playing hard-rated players. You are learning more than just know about something in the game, okay? Find me on chess.com and send me challenge if you want to play. Can I bring this rook on a2 or not? Because f2 is a little bit, I will say, weak. How can I defend that pawn? Let's attack on his rook, okay? But because my bishop are there, rook c7 even won't work. Okay, his bishop is protecting that square too. But if rook back g5 will be hang, so I'm happy to see his queen isn't hitting on h7, just his rook, so that wouldn't be check. This rook is hang. And okay, just he hasn't trying to take this h7, I'm happy to see that. But I believe rook a2 even won't work. Okay, that was all that defended. Well, I know. Thank you to Salem UX. Well, I lost that game, but not a problem. Just because my position was overextended at the time. How that happened? Because his kingside and I will say central was a really good at the time. That was hard to play, you know? Probably we need to play 3+2. Because I'm playing a little bit good dead, and my rapid rating is 2100. That's why how that game is long. I'm playing like that long. I saw checkmate from long way. You are busy in catching his rook. Not just catching his rook, just bring my queen on second rank and try to bring another. Just rook and second rank, and because f2 was hanging there. That's why. But anyway. Okay, what I did just. I could even take, but you know that should be isolated pawn, but I don't like it because that will hit on that a5 and c5. He will try to even bring the knight and some other figures into the game. I'm not sure I can defend all that. I'm happy to listen that you are back. If you want to play, send me challenge. I will take h2, but I think knight b5 he will try to do that. To fork this and take one of these pawns. Not figures. I would like to bring my rook on his king side, but bishops are protecting that really good, you know? That's why I can't. I would like to play f4, probably f3 to damage his pawn structure, but the only reason I'm doing that to kick his bishop back, because this bishop is doing great job in my king side. Also, how I said, I just can't bring my rook on g5 or even h5 was defended from the bishop. Now it's not. Oh, okay, he's trying knight a6, but now he can't, because if just back, that should be defended with two pieces. That's why I offered bishop trade. I was in pass, so I couldn't hear you properly. Sorry if I didn't answer your question. No, I didn't answer a question. No problem, bro. No need, sorry. He's waiting until I will take the knight and I will open that diagonal for him, right? But also b file is open. That should be open attack from d5, but because I haven't piece, that should attack on 2 time. Hello GS Saura, how are you? Okay, so I forced him a move with queen b6 and I'm forcing him to defend this pawn. Just if I played, for example, no forcing move, queen a7, he would play what he wants. But the difference is that now he can't play what he wants. I'm forcing him a move and win some tempo. a3, not fork, f3, just I believe he will close that position and that should be hard for win that game, you know? Just if f3 and g3, how can I continue this attack? I mean g4. Because g3 I will take that with a bishop, he can't take it back because for this pin. That's why I was worried about, but we can try to trick him. Or even a3, because that wasn't just under a pin. I would like to push this. Now I can't. And now I can. Or not. If I take from a8 will be mate or not. Bishop back, rook back, but anyway. That's not a position which I tried to get. Bishop a5. I will see that position. Let's lose this game on time. The rook, okay. I'm trying to mate from a1. He needs to protect. Probably a rook back. And I'm over pressuring a1. So I can sacrifice the queen, even the rook. What he did. Okay, but I'm doing 0.9 seconds just. This is crazy. Okay, let's lose on time. We are playing 3+2 and we are having really good winning streaks, you see? We will get it for sure. Knight c6 and take this, okay? I would like to bring my bishop on d6, but d6, check. I need to protect bishop a6, knight g5, and that pawn will be lost for me. I had so much positions because for that I lost a pawn, or somehow I won a pawn from there, but that's why experience is a really matter in chess. c5 was saying, I saw that he didn't want to face to move b3 or b4. That's why you need to defend all your figures when they are under attack. I took a pawn and let's sacrifice the bishop. You know why? Try to see that position before I will say what's gonna happen. Let's see. If he took just his knight on d4 will be lost. That's not about piece, just a pawn from h-file, and that's why h-file pawn is really great, because his misses a mate in one. I would like even before that play my queen back, but knight f3 would be attack on my queen and bishop. He would take the bishop at the time. Okay, let's accept this challenge. Scandinavian defense. Knight f3, knight c3, d4. Let's get some simple development, why not? Or even c4, d4 can be moved, but I'm helping his bishop to attack on this diagonal. I can deactivate that with d3 after d4, because I don't want to not ping my pawn forward, you know? Knight c3 and then d4 even can happen. d4, bishop d3 and castle. I am trying to do that. c6 is a main move in that Scandinavian defense. Because when I attack on his queen like just bishop d2, he would have these really good squares where he can jump and save his queen. h3, okay, let's trade and... Oh, okay, bishop g5, his queen from another universe would take that. I would like to trade the knights, because the knight is defending this diagonal very well. And not diagonal, just central squares. I was thinking about the bishop, because if I get some trades, I believe I will take this pawn from f6 just after this. Release to protect, and if it's not just knight d5, even that should be okay. Let's take, and one more time. His bishop isn't threat, because c3 just this really good pawn structure is defending from any attack. b4 can work. I would like to bring my rooks, but anything what they gonna do after, for example rook a1. d4 is hang, but because that d file will be open, I would try to just bring the rook, okay, like this. And I have white square bishop. I would try to take that, and if it's not a problem. Let's go bishop back, and queen d3 can be moved to attack and try to take this h7. And how I said b7 is hang, but if I take rook b8, and that pawn on b2 will be lost for me. Let's bring the rook, and rook a4, g4 or not. Just g4, g6 will be overprotected from his kingside pawns. I'm not sure, but let's see. And because his bishop is protecting this pawn, if somehow I can take that, I need to sacrifice a rook for that, because there isn't just any pawn which will attack on there. And even not dark square bishop for me. That's why. But not a problem, just I will say we are not worse. We are down a pawn, but if I play fast tactics, just there shouldn't be any miscalculation from me. But because I have white square bishop, I will try to use that with queen f3. The good thing was when our queen on that d3, somehow he couldn't push that pawn. If he tries to even trade the queens, just I will protect the queen and d3 will be protected all the time. Bishop back, his bishop is hang. Okay, and if he moves his bishop, which he's not doing, I would like to defend that. g4, but I'm a little bit worried about he can do that pawn push. Because somehow I can defend from d1, because he has dark square bishop, he can defend that very nicely. So from d1 that should be a little bit hard for defend, you know? Okay, at another time he can also defend the bishop with queen, but because I brought much attack over there, at that time just he can't. He missed that, you know? Queen d2, because if I trade the queens and he plays d2, just I'm not sure, I don't like that position. This pawn will gonna lose for him after some moves. Or not. That's still not easy to win, but what if bishop b1? That's the only way that I can attack on there, and I will take with the rook, okay? Then the queen, and then bring this here. I will try to open this king side, make some checks, because when opponent has when you have time pressure, try to check. Well, let's do this pre-moves, and I believe that should be made. Or even if he has a pawn, just that should be even, losing if my time run out. Well, goodbye everyone, we will see another time. Thank you for coming. And let's end this stream. Goodbye everyone. Stay in my channel to not lose any shorts. Any streams. Goodbye. Hello Geeky Gamer, but unfortunately I'm going to lose this stream. See you tomorrow. After 22 hours. Goodbye.